The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride.
And travel in and out of time. We can see and travel in and through other dimensions. We can be anywhere in the universe in an instant. We can go in here and out there with no travel in between. We can communicate at superluminal or subluminal velocities. And in fact, we'll see that the things that follow are also even more enormous than that. But my point is that the present relativity and the present electromagnetics are only highly special cases of the true relativity and the true electromagnetics that emerges from Tesla's fundamental waves and fundamental interferometry work. In fact, if we fully apply the technology, we must be prepared to deal with orders of reality. In fact, words that we presently have in our language fails us in trying to describe what emerges. We must be willing to deal with a case where we individually can be in many places at once. In fact, we could be everywhere at once if we were using a way that had infinite velocity to do our sensing. We must be prepared for the fact that our sensor, which we normally associate to be our physical body in one little region of space-time, can be in fact placed anywhere we wish, and so we can be literally anywhere we wish with Tesla technology. We must call that orders of reality, because the present physical reality we see is only a first-order effect. It is the kind of physical reality that emerges when time, the present vector-carried time, is removed from space-time, leaving behind only space. We know from quantum mechanics that time is not an observable. That is, time has already been removed any time we observe. And all observation and all detection is purely spatial. And so the present order, the present physical reality, is only one type of reality that actually is there, that actually confronts us, and in which we actually live. With the Tesla technology, we must confront all the orders of reality, and to do that we are going to have to advance the entire consciousness of mankind. For his present consciousness is totally fitted to the photon interaction and to the vector field effect, that is, the vector movement at a limited c velocity. In dealing with that kind of reality, we must pause and point out that since the beginning of time as we know it today, man has always beset his fellow man. Being a smart animal, having a brain, and having a mind that is very clever and adaptive, he has built tools which he can use with his tool-using member, his hands. He has built ever more powerful tools in his cleverness, and he has utilized these tools ever more frightfully against his fellow human being. And so the history of mankind has been a history of struggle and domination of man against man and human against human. As the power of the tools evolved, however, man has reached the point where he has the power to destroy his biosphere. He has the power now to disrupt all the space-time smoothness in which he exists. He can reach the very fabric of the universe itself, of physical reality itself, and he can shake it, he can bend it, he can warp it, and he can twist it. In doing so, he can turn the reality in which he himself exists into a nightmare beyond his present comprehension. And so the power of tools that has been unleashed already by the Tesla technology in the hands of the Soviet Union are indeed so frightful that they boggle the mind of man. And they are more frightful than the present limited consciousness of man has ever imagined, just exactly as Brezhnev stated in 1975. We must become aware of this type of reality and this type of technology. We must evolve our consciousness, and we must leave forever the side or the set of man where man turns against his fellow man. In so doing, there is a single problem which can be overcome by the technical Tesla technology. This single fundamental problem is in fact responsible or involved in all human causes where one human is pitted against another. and Tesla technology can be used to overcome that. In the present first-order physical reality which we sense and live in, and which all our instruments sense as well, most of them, everything except a few obscure Geiger tubes, and once in a while something like an electrical or electron interferometer. In the first-order physical reality that we sense and live in, we consider ourselves to be apart from each other. I consider, for example, that you are distant from me. The only way that I can establish our separation is by the vector field and its limited c velocity. I have something which takes some time to travel between you and I, and that time multiplied by its velocity gives me a distance in which we are separated. And so, using the first-order reality and vector sensing, I am convinced that you are distant from me and not part of me at all. I am convinced, therefore, that if you suffer and you hurt, it does not necessarily affect me. I need not suffer and I need not hurt. In fact, if I can use a sensor wave which has infinite velocity, that is, which is everywhere at once, we confront something that is very near the Creator in its awareness, because it can be aware of everywhere at once. In that fact, or in that situation, there is no distance between you and I, or between any other two people. If we, in fact, inject such technology between us, there is no longer any between us. We can indeed become one. Just as in the individual human body, there are literally billions and billions of human cells which are so linked together, and in fact, Dr. Pop has discovered that that link is a virtual field, and therefore involves scalar field, for example. If we link human beings together by scalar processes which have infinite velocity and therefore no time separation and no distance separation, we indeed all become one. And the thing that is written in the Bible, that man is made in the image of his Creator, is quite indeed literally true. Each of us is the other, and we all are one. And that is where the Tesla technology must be used to carry us. It must be used to evolve humankind from its present limited consciousness to a more infinite consciousness, the consciousness of the next stage of human evolution. And so, if we can become aware of the Tesla technology, if we can first counter the Soviet weapons, and then if we can reach an agreement to banish the scourge of war and our divisions from one another forever, we can apply the technology of Tesla to mankind's betterment, to cure him, not to kill him, to make him a god, not to make him an animal. In that case, all of the things that I've shown on this slide can gradually become true, because that is man's destiny. First, we can control our lifespan. We can control all diseases. We can have superluminal communication. We can have transmutation of matter. We can produce anything and any energy that we need to produce. And eventually, we can recover our true consciousness and our true nature, which is the godhood and the God nature of mankind itself. It seems ironical to me, in making such a presentation, that with my Judeo-Christian background, and looking at the Christian Bible, King James Version if you wish, long ago we find people writing words, which if I do away with the dogma, and if I do away with the limited concepts of the time, and try to express what they are saying in a non-dogmatic way, and in the present concepts that we have today, they have a startling new truth. Man literally is built within the image of his Creator, or is one with the Creator himself, or he can be, because we now see and sense only the first-order reality, only a limited electromagnetic interaction, and only a limited relativity. If we build the technology to link us together and to go for the more full and more advanced reality, we literally can recover our God nature. If so, then ironically, the strange, lonely genius, Nikola Tesla, who so many years ago, single-handedly almost, and against great odds at that, gave us the electrical 20th century, may very well have given mankind a more shining future than all the scientists and sages have envisioned. Thank you, and good evening.
Tonight, things are going to be different.
Well, you know how these things start. One guy tells another guy something, and then he tells two friends. And they tell two friends, and they tell their friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. You know how these things go.
I'm staying right here, having fun as usual.
Things are going to start happening to us, no matter what that chimp from Palatine Records says.
You see, that's just it. That's the way you guys think. Think everything's going to happen to you. You got to make it happen.
We fear change.
You just sat on the porch like a goon and waited. See, ethics are, you know, the thing about ethics.
Because there are so few truths in this world that when you see one, you know it. And I...
21st century began. Human evolution was at a turning point. Natural selection, the process by which the strongest, the smartest, the fastest reproduced in greater numbers than the rest, a process which had once favored the noblest traits of man, now began to favor different traits. Most science fiction of the day predicted a future that was more civilized and more intelligent. But as time went on, things seemed to be heading in the opposite direction, a dumbing down. How did this happen? Evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence.
You know what I'd like to do?
Yeah, I know what you'd like to do. You'd like to find the guy that did it. Rip his still beating heart out of his chest and hold it in front of his face, so he can see how black it is before he dies.
I feel great, man. I feel great! I don't know, man. I hate my father. I hate my life. But I feel great, man. You guys are great. I'm gonna go pick a fight. 'Cause I got no place else to go.
What's your name?
My name? Mud.
How does he find his way in the dark?
He thinks he's way. A lot of people believe that they're telepathic.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Let me ask you a question. What would you say if someone offered you peace and happiness through all of eternity?
Does this seem weird? I mean, why does this guy have contracts?
In this one, but for me, the beast doesn't include selling out.
The only thing that's silly is the power of the people's vote. And I think the people should use it to vote for none of the above.
So what do you guys want?
And all this, Wilson? Establish contact, make sure it's not a false alarm. I know the procedure.
No!
To train the dolphin, you must think like the dolphin. You must be getting inside the dolphin's head and communicating.
Not the whole head. I mean my mind.
What? Whoa. Don't tell me you're thinking about eating the forbidden fruit.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Wait, Dad. That's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You don't eat from that one. It's forbidden. Everybody knows that.
But why is it forbidden? What is it about this fruit that they don't want us to have?
It's not the fruit. It's about the rule. It's about doing what you're told.
Yeah, we've been doing what we were told our entire lives. How's that worked out for us?
There was never any stopping it.
Eerie. Really eerie.
Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
With religion is nothing but mind control. Religion is just trying to control your mind, control your thoughts.
All right. First things fucking last.
Book of Revelations, because I have to tell you this, and you may think I'm nuts if you want to, but this is the truth. Either these men are following the book of Revelation. The book of Revelation is it is in the Bible. They're either following it, just like a plan, and bringing the prophecies in there to pass, to manipulate and control those who believe in those prophecies and neutralize them, so to speak. In other words, if this is written in the Bible and God has ordained it, who am I to resist? It must come to pass, so I'm not going to try to stop it.
Okay.
What a perfect way to neutralize the opposition right off the bat. Or there really is a God, and what he said was going to come to pass is coming to pass. And I named this, Behold a Pale Horse, from chapter 13 of the book of Revelations. The fourth horseman of the apocalypse is the pale horse. And I looked, and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat upon him was Death. And hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with the beasts of the earth. And that is taking place now today. The fourth horseman is riding across the world now.
Believe, and I know what I personally believe, and what I personally believe doesn't have any bearing on anything. Knowledge, the truth, is what counts, and that's what we're trying to get to the bottom of here. Now, eventually, this philosophy of worshiping the intellect, or wisdom, or the mind, became known as Gnosticism.
That devil exists in the hearts and minds of men and nowhere else. Nowhere else. For if you take man out of the equation, evil ceases to exist, and there is left only the laws of the universe and the balance of nature. Put man in the equation, and before long evil will rear its ugly head and present itself to the world. The evil is within man, and that is why it was called the fall. The devil never made anyone do it. If you do it, you did it yourself because you fell into temptation. The continuous confrontation with forks in the road. One is good, one is bad. And you could always wander completely off the road altogether and become lost. Totally and completely lost. If you take the wrong fork at one of these junctions, there is always the opportunity at the next fork to get back on track.
I'm talking about doing the right thing, rooting out and discovering and destroying the evil in man's machinations that would enslave humanity.
Now look here. I ain't talking about no revolution. And I'm not talking about no demonstration. I'm talking about having a good time. I'm talking about love, 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 love. Grab your fucking friend and love him. Come on. Hey, listen, I'm lonely. I need some love, you all. Come on. I need some good time loving, sweetheart. Love me. Come on.
Someone throws a gallon of orange paint at the band.
You're all a bunch of slaves. Let people tell you what you're gonna do. How long are you gonna let them push you around? And you love it. And you love getting your face stuck in the shit. Come on. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?
There's a rush at the stage.